What's going on, guys? I'm Encore. This is Tomorrow Never Comes, and today I wanted to share with you. If you're interested in trading, I wanted to share with you a platform called Bybit. If you are at all familiar with any kind of crypto trading, I'm sure you may have heard of it or are using it yourself. If you're a complete newbie, it is a platform. It's one of the platforms used to trade crypto assets. Do not trade unless you're an experienced trader. Uh, But you know what? Everyone says that, but how do you get experience unless you trade? So I'll say trade unless you are comfortable with trading first and foremost. Secondly, only trade with a very, very small percentage of your entire portfolio. A lot of people, what they like to do, and hopefully you're not one of them, is you're all or nothing. So you're saying, I'm a trader. Maybe you have one or two successful trades and you think it's pretty easy, and you start to put more and more into it, and then you have bad trade after bad trade, or even one or two bad trades, and it can wipe you out. Okay, so always, Warren Buffett's rule, always preserve capital. That's his number one rule. I believe his second rule is don't forget rule number one. So 100%, you always want to be in a position where you can, trade another day, live for another day. So you definitely don't want to put all of your eggs into your trading basket. But if you have a small proportion of, and what I mean real, like small, and everyone's small is different, obviously, right? When you're with your mentality. For me, I don't trade more than 5% of my portfolio at all. Even less than that, actually. Probably start off as 5, maybe now, really around 1%. 1%, right? And at times it's less than 1%. So it's really just, for me, in my mindset, it's just for fun. Okay. But I did want to show it to you guys. I did want you guys to see, what it kind of looks like. I don't know if you can see this, and the way the camera is all set up here. I'm going to try it this way here. So hopefully everything's kind of clear, but there's two things that I want to go over here. Inverse Perpetual and USDT Perpetual. And when I actually started watching through Crypto and Da Vinci J15, and the Moon kind of came after Crawl the Moon. But they were going through a lot of stuff on trading wise, and I didn't realize what the difference was. They always trade in inverse perpetual. So what does that mean? So if you guys can see on the screen here, it says BTC up in the top left. Hopefully you guys can see this or not. Let's try and get out of here. So where you see the price action right now, 41,252, right above that. If I click here, it'll show you in perpetuals, inverse perpetuals over here, USDT perpetual here. Okay, we're not going to go into each and every one, but I do want to pick. Let's say Bitcoin, and that's BTC, right? So BTC USD and USDT perpetual. So BTC USDT versus BTC USD. Okay, stay with me here. So when I would watch those guys, they would always be trading in BTC USD. So what does the inverse perpetual means? It actually means that you are going to open a trade, and I'm going to show you guys here. So let's explain it first. So an inverse perpetual means you're going to open a trade with US dollars, but your gains and your losses are, okay, so let's put this again. You are going to put in US dollars, but it's going to create a position in Bitcoin. So if you have $200 worth, your position size will actually be $200 worth of Bitcoin. Okay. And then your gains and your losses will actually be in Bitcoin. So that's inverse perpetual. Perpetual USDT means that your position will be in US dollars, and your profit and losses will also be in US dollars. Okay, so let's go through an example. So right now on the screen, you guys can see in the top left corner, it says BTC USD. So that is inverse perpetual. Actually, you guys can see I have a couple of trades that are open. I'm going to show that to you right here. Very small. You guys can see very small positions, okay? So look at the top here. It says BTC USD, and it'll say what my unrealized profit and loss is here on the right. And so what you can see here is that here's my unrealized profit and loss, which is right here in the middle. Hopefully you guys can see this. This is on my phone, so I apologize if things aren't very clear. But if you look in the middle of the screen, it says unrealized profit and loss percentage, and then there's green numbers to the right of it. And so you can see that it's telling me that I am 0.0023 BTC in profit. So that's 29%. This is on, I think it's on a 5x leverage. So not much leverage at all. Okay. And then below that, it'll tell you what it is in US dollars. Okay. So again, inverse perpetual means you are getting, your position is in that asset. So in this case is Bitcoin. And you are going to get profit and losses in that asset, not in US dollars, but in that particular asset. So in this case, it's Bitcoin. Profit and losses will be in Bitcoin. And then if we go back, you guys can see here that there is so the third position down, so BTC USD, there's an ETH USD, which is an inverse perpetual for ETH. And then you can see there's BTC USDT. So that is a USDT Perpetual. Okay, now you can see that one here up 31%, and that's about $92. But if I click on it here, okay, it's going to show you similar, hold on, that's showing you everything. So if I scroll here, and now if you look on the middle of the unrealized profit and loss, it says that I'm 91.5 USDT in profit. So it's not saying I have, I've gained X amount of Bitcoin or anything like that. That's not what it's saying. So it is saying that I have USDT. That's my stable coin. And to start this video off, I said you having a position USD. It's pretty much the same as having USDT. They're pegged, right? Stable coin is pegged to the US dollar. So I'm not getting any fluctuations here. My position is in USDT. My profit and loss is in USDT. So there isn't heavy fluctuation that's happening with my profit and loss. Okay? And you guys might be wondering, well, what's the difference? Like, why does that even matter? And honestly, I did not even know really what the difference was in the beginning. So here's the difference. So because Bitcoin price fluctuates so much, right, and has the ability to go up and down. So up is great, right? So if I'm getting my profits in Bitcoin, phenomenal. But if price, and this comes back to, being confident in your analysis and having stop losses in place, which can prevent you from potentially losing out big, but without getting into the heaviness there, right? So if you're losing money, you're losing Bitcoin. So you're not losing in US dollars, which is stable. So if Bitcoin drops by 30%, my loss is also, correlated to the Bitcoin price, because I actually have Bitcoin asset. That's what I'm getting my profit and loss in. And while when things are profitable, you always want to make it, profits in Bitcoin, because it's a more valuable asset than US dollar. But you don't want to be losing Bitcoin when things aren't going well. Whereas if you're losing in USDT, it's not that bad. Okay, so sometimes it's difficult to understand, especially if you haven't been trading or you just started. And it took me a long time, funny enough, to understand that you always want to try and take profits in Bitcoin, 100%. And that's the beauty of doing an inverse perpetual, is that your profits will be in Bitcoin. Just remember that your losses will also be in Bitcoin. So it makes a big difference in that regard, where things are more stable, and less likely to cause heartache and headache, is doing everything in USDT. Things are very stable. If you lost everything, you would just be losing USDT, not a big deal. Whereas if you lose Bitcoin, it could be a bigger problem. So I just wanted to highlight this for anyone who is interested in trading. I am not big on trading. I do know technical analysis to some degree. I do have some fun. You guys can see it's very small amounts. I'd never go in heavy on it, and you just play with it. So it's something I'm comfortable with now, but sometimes the terminology is good to know before you even get into it. And I did not know it. Full transparency, I had no clue when I started. I was watching others, and that's why you got to do your own research. Okay, so again, any trading platform, this would be any trading platform, but the one that I use is Bybit. Okay, I do like that trading platform. It's a nice user experience, very simple, very easy to work with. So again, Inverse Perpetual, you are getting paid in that crypto asset. You're also getting losses in that crypto asset. So it could be Bitcoin, ETH, Cardano, any crypto asset. While you might use US dollars to get into the position, they're going to convert it into that asset, and then your profit and losses will be in that asset. USDT, you're using a stable coin, so your US is converting to USDT, so that's your position, and your profit and losses is in USDT. Okay, so it is something to note. It is something I hope you guys take into account if you are going to trade. And if you ever are going to trade and you've never traded before, always go very, very small in your position and learn some technical analysis, right? And experiment and see what works and what doesn't work for you. And at the end of the day, know that the risk, the gains and the risk, they're all on you. Doesn't matter if you heard it from somebody else. Doesn't matter if someone is right 9 out of 10 times and that 10th time you get wiped out. Understand that they know what they're doing and they're going to win more often than not for the most part. And you may pick up the 2 or 3 losing positions and say someone doesn't know anything, right? Flip side is also true, that you may get someone who is wrong 8 out of 10 times, but you pick them on their 2 times that they're right, and now you think what they say is gospel. Always do your own research. Always take responsibility for if a trade goes well or not, and just my thing is always have some fun with it and learn along the way. Don't bet the house on anything. I would say ever, but definitely when you're trying to learn something, never go more than what you can actually afford to lose. Okay, so I just want to touch on that a little bit. Hopefully you guys enjoyed the video. Hit the like button, share the video with anyone who may be trading or thinking about trading. Subscribe, hit the notification bell, and always remember that tomorrow never comes. So if you do want to trade a little bit and you want to learn, start today. Okay, guys, see you in the next video.